Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. Jazakumullahu khairan for attending. We're going to get straight into it today. I think today is a bit of an involving lesson, so I'm just going to start straight away, inshallah. So we'll start off with the homework we had for week 5. So the first question was, why should you learn the attached pronouns table? And the answer, because it's the most important table in this course, in my opinion. So it's a very, very important one. As you may have seen during the week while you were reading the Quran, you might have seen the hum and the kum and the na and the ka. You might have seen them all over, right? That is an indication that, look, that table we did last week is very important. Without that, you can't understand the Quran. Next one. So question 2 was translate the following. So Rabbuka is, so we know in these, the first two, Rabb means Lord, okay? So Rabbuka is your Lord. You're speaking to a male, right? Your Lord, you're speaking to, a male. Rabbukum is your Lord, masculine, plural. You're saying it to everybody. Rabbukum, masculine. I could also say Rabbukum to you all now, students, because for a mixed group, the masculine is used. So I would say to you, Rabbukum, your all's Lord. See, ilahukum. So ilah means God, as we did in the vocabulary, and kum is your all. So ilahukum means your God, plural, your all's God. Lana, the lana. When the lam attaches onto a pronoun, it basically means for. So for us, like belongs to us, for us, right? For us. E, kitab, and e. Whenever we see an e, it means my. Whatever it is, it's my whatever. So in this case, kitabi means my book. Masjidi, my masjid. Imami, my imam, right? And that's for masculine and feminine, right? Masculine M, feminine S, sorry, feminine F, and then S for singular. Okay, so F, fi ha. So fi means in, and ha means it, feminine, or her, depending on what is being spoken about. So fi ha, in it, and it's talking about a feminine thing. G, alaykum. So alaykum is ala, which means on, and kum, you all. So alaykum means on you all. And H, rizquha. So rizqu means provision, and ha is her. So rizquha, her provision. Now, depending on what's being talked about, it could even mean rizquha, its provision, where that it is feminine, right? So that was question 2. Everybody happy with that? Yes. So we say, sister is saying, we say assalamu alaikum, right? And we say that to even one person. That's correct. We say assalamu alaikum, even though it's to one person, but really alaikum means on you all. So salam, be on you all. So the people of knowledge say that we actually salam in the angels as well. And we know we have at least 4 angels with us. One recording the good deeds, one recording the bad deeds, one in front of us and one behind us. The one in front and behind have the job of protecting us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us bodyguards, basically. Like someone might want to say bodyguards. They protect us. Yeah. So just repetition, just try learning these again and again. If you're struggling, the masculine ones are the most important ones. Just forget about the feminine ones if you're struggling. And first, before you do that, drop all the duals. So forget all the duals. See, I didn't even put any duals in this homework because they're not as important. You'll see they're just the non-duals all here. So if you're finding it hard, drop the duals. If you're finding it even harder, drop the feminines as well. But keep everything else because everything else is really important. 2C, ilahukum. So ilah means God, and kum means you're all, you all, right? So ilahukum means your God, but we're talking about masculine and plural. So your all's God. That makes sense? Okay, good. Right. We move on to question, I think question 3, I missed it out. Question 3, I just gone to 4 straight away, okay? So write the word Rabbun with all the attached pronouns in the attached pronoun table and write the meanings too. So this is just to get you to write it down, to give you practice. The more you write, the more you spend time on it, the more you're going to, it's going to sit in your head. So the whole point of these homeworks is for it to sit in your head. I remember a few years ago, I had a class like in the masjid, and particularly one brother and one sister were doing really well. They were doing really, really well, getting the top marks in the tests. And I was like amazed. I asked them, are you Arabs or non-Arabs? They were both non-Arabs. So it was the first time that they were doing the course. And I tried digging in that, what are they doing? And they basically both were completing their homeworks. They were completing all the homework. And then, you know, that helped them to revise, and they're coming out with really, really good marks. So the homework's very essential because it helps you revise and learn. So this was the table: Rabbuhu, his Lord; Rabbuhuma, their two's Lord; Rabbuhum, their all's Lord. Remember the ha, look at the ha. For third person, the attached pronouns all start off with ha. For the second person, they all start off with ka. So if you're speaking to somebody, then you're going to use ka or ki, kuma, kum, kunna. When you're talking about like their Lord, his Lord, then the ha is used. Okay, so Rabbuha, her Lord; Rabbuhuma, their two's Lord; Rabbuhunna, remember the shad, that looks like a W for the women. Rabbuhunna, their all's Lord, women only. Then Rabbuka, Rabbukuma, Rabbukum, Rabbuki, Rabbukuma, Rabbukunna. Again, this is just information that we just need to, you know, you should have copied, just copied from your, remember the homeworks. When you do the homework, look at your book, look at your notes, copy like you would do in normal subjects. And that's how you do your homeworks. Why is it Rabbuhu, not Rabbuhi? Okay, so somebody's asking, why is it Rabbuhu and not Rabbuhi? So the who, for these third person, when the ha is used, if the letter before it has a fatha or a dhamma, then there is a dhamma on the ha. So Rabbuhu, Rabbahu. But if the letter before it has a kasra, a zair, then it's going to be Rabbihi, right? So Rabbuhu, Rabbahu, Rabbihi. So that will change. It'll either be who or he, depending on the letter that comes before it. We don't need to remember that rule because it's already written in the Quran, and the fatha, the dhammas are already in the Quran. But that's why it will change. Sometimes it will be who, sometimes it will be he. Yes? Right. So, and then last one, Rabbi. Remember, when there is a ya at the end of a word, it means my. So my Lord, Rabbi. And then Rabbuna means our Lord. Rabbuna, our Lord. That's where Rabbana atina fid dunya, our Lord. Right? Right. What was the next one? Okay, so we had the vocabulary. I will just quickly go over this, inshallah. Please just do the typing. Ilahun means ilahun means? Yes, the tests were quite tough. I sort of made the tests a bit, they are tricky, you know, there's lots of different options and you've got to know, you've got to have revised well to get it right. So yeah, God, that's right, God. And this is the plural, gods. Ba'da, a word that we use in Urdu as well. Ba'da. What does ba'da mean? Good. After. 204. Ajma'een. Ajma'een. Good. Jama'a. Jumu'ah. Jumu'ah, what do? We all gather together. Ajma'een. All together. So somebody's asking, why is the plural of God feminine? Right? Why has it got ta marbuta at the end? I don't know why it's got a ta marbuta at the end, but it's a broken plural. Okay, so next one. Hikmatun. Hikmatun. Wisdom. Urdu word as well. Khaliqun. Khaliqun. Creator. Whenever it has a double ending, you know it's a noun. You know it's a noun, right? Khawfun. Khawf. What's khawf? Good. Fear. Fear. And I think it was, I was looking at the right thing. I was looking at the answers to the vocabulary, and people are getting the vocabulary right. There's lots of people are getting top marks with vocabulary. Most of the answers are all correct. So this is really good because these, you know, along with knowing the structures of the words, you need to know the meaning of many words. Otherwise you can't understand, you know, the Quran. Hasanatun. Hasanatun. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasana. Right? We've heard that word there, yeah? So a good deed here. Hasanatun means a good deed. Next one, sayyi'atun. Sayyi'atun. Good. 58 times. Sha'a, ma sha'Allah. Insha'Allah. Insha'Allah, if Allah wills. Ma sha'Allah, what Allah willed. 207. Fi, we all did fi. Remember, it was in the car that we did last week. Fi. Good. To that fi, 1697. Lahu ma fis samawati wa ma fil ard. Fi. Ma. Good. So what, whatever, and sometimes it means not. Mata. Mata. Good. When. Right. So we'll move on, inshallah. Oh, number, what was number 70 here up, man? So I've just got one of them there. Keep on. Right. So this was the test now, okay? The test was just basically asking you to translate what is in the table, but with real words, not just the endings, it was real words. So Rabbuka, again, Rabbuka, your Lord, masculine, right? You're speaking to somebody, you're speaking to a male, and you say Rabbuka means your Lord. Baytuha, Bayt is house, and ha is hers. So Baytuha, her house. Like Aisha radiyallahu anha, may Allah be pleased with her. Alayhi is ala and the he. So can you see here, the ha has a kasra on. The other reason why the ha has a kasra on is when the letter before it is a ya with a sukoon. So a ya with a jazm, ya with sukoon. If that comes before the hu, it becomes he. So that's the other way. So the first one is if the letter before the ha has a kasra, then the ha gets a kasra. And the second way, the ha gets a kasra is if the letter before it is a ya sukoon. Again, it's already written in the Quran. As long as you know what it means, the hu or the he, it's fine. So alayhi, ala, and he means him. So alayhi means on him. Kitab, which means a book, and hum means their all. So kitabuhum is their all's book, their book. We just done this one. Rabb means Lord, and na means our. So Rabbuna, our Lord. And when you put a ya at the end of a word, it makes it my. So Rabbi is my Lord. I know the test had all sorts of different answers and it's tricky. So you've got to make, so if you revise really well, you know what the answer is when you see it, and then you just go and pick it. So I try to make the multiple choice a bit hard so you can't just fluke it. You've got to actually learn it properly. But at the same time, it's good because it shows you what you need to learn. If you get it wrong, it shows you what you need to learn. And many times people, it's not about somebody getting the top marks and then forgetting it next week. It's about the one who retains it. Be it he gets half answers wrong, but then he goes over it and revises it and makes it stronger. He's the winner. The winner is the one who still remembers this next year, right? G. Lahunna, women, right? The W for women. Lahunna, for them all, women. Lakum, for you all. Kitabuhuma, so book, them twos, right? So their twos book, their book dual. Beitu kunna, beitu kunna. So beit means house, kunna means your all's house, women. So your all's house for the women. La, for, kuma, you two. So la kuma, for you both. And amaluki is amal, which means action, and ki is yours, feminine. So if you say to a sister, your action, you'll say amaluki. Can you just repeat where you said as a customer? I think the person is asking me for this one, so let me just repeat this again. I think the person is saying, can I explain that rule again? So the ha, alaykum, alayhum, alayhim, sometimes it's who, sometimes it's he. How do you know which one it is? So the ha, like for hum as well, and huma, it's a dhamma, has a dhamma here when the letter before it has a fatha or a dhamma, right? Like this one, kitabu hum. But the ha will have a kasra when the letter before it either has a kasra or the letter before it is a ya with a sukoon. So in this case, ya with sukoon, it's not going to be alayhu. It's going to be alayhi. Similar with this one, if the ba had a kasra there, it would have been kitabi him. But it's kitabuhum in this case. I hope that answered your question, if that was the question you asked. Right. We've done this. Okay, good. So translate this Quranic text, and we did the survey. Did the survey yesterday, and it came who prefers Uthmani script and who prefers the Indo-Pak script, and I think it's something like 54%. Let me just see quickly. Is it 54% said Okay, 56% said they prefer the Uthmani script and 44 said Indo-Pak. So, okay, we're on the Uthmani script then, right? Right. So, inna, right? Inna, surely we. So it's, imagine like inna, and it's like an in and then a na. Inna, surely we. Ma'akum. Ma'a means with, and kum is you all. So surely we are with you all. Okay, this is in the Quran. Inna ma'akum. Next one. Huwa, we've done huwa in lesson 1 even, right? Huwa, he. Okay, so in this one, where does the we come from? The na at the end, na. There's two noons there. One of them is the na of attached pronoun. Rabbuna, our Lord. Inna, indeed, we. Surely we. Okay. So huwa, he, fi, in. So you put a is there, or well, in this case, a was, right? Huwa, fi, he was. Now the reason why it was is because if you read the whole verse, it's talking about the past. So you won't say he is in that case. It'll be he was. Fi means in. Baytiha. Bait means house. And ha is hers. Baytiha. He was in her house. And the reason why bayti is majroor, isn't it? Bayti. Because fi is a preposition, and prepositions are majroorifiers. They make the next noun majroor. So somebody's asking, what would it be if it was he is in her house? It would be the same thing, but the context of the sentence will be talking about something in the present tense. Right, so it would be he is or he was, depending on the context of the sentence. Otherwise, huwa by itself is just he, but then you put is, to make it understandable in English, as far as I know. And in this case, was. So look at this one. Rabbuna, our Lord, wa, and Rabbukum, your all's Lord. Right? Lana, for us. A'maluna, actions, our deeds. Wow, and lakum, for you all. A'malukum, your all's deeds. If you've done your revision well and everything, you should be able to translate pretty much all of that. Amal, if we've done amal, I think we've done amal in the, did we do it in the vocabulary? Yeah. Okay, so, okay, right. So again, it's a fast moving course. We're moving on to something else today, right? Inshallah. So definitely need to go over, take advantage of the recordings. You can listen to the recording many times. Sometimes you just hear the recording once again and things will sit in, so just keep on top of it. And we are moving on to lesson 6 today, inshallah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Yes, the classes will be, the recordings will be available even after the class. They'll be available, inshallah. We'll finish for Ramadan, inshallah. Right. So now we've finished with nouns. For the time being, we're done with nouns, right? Nouns, we're done. Today, what we're going to talk about is verbs and root words, okay? So most Arabic words have 3 main letters in them, 3 main letters. These are called root letters. You might have heard sometimes this person is doing his talk and he's saying that word comes from these root letters, right? So most Arabic words, nearly all of them, just like a few exceptions here and there, right? They come from a root word. And the root word is a verb. What is a verb, anybody? What is a verb? Fi'l in Arabic, a doing word, right? So to talk, to play, to teach, you know, these aren't nouns anymore. We've gone away from table, car, chair. We've gone away from that. Now we're talking about actions, doing words, to talk, to write, to play, to, you know, to drive, to cry, to shout, to walk. Okay. So most Arabic words they come from root letters, and the root letters is the formation of a verb. So look at this. Kataba means he wrote, and kataba is a root word. The root letters kaf, ta, and ba. Okay, so kaf, ta, and ba are the root letters that make this word, and this is the root word, kataba. From kataba you get kitabun, maktubun, etc., etc., right? And it means third person, he did that thing. So kataba means he wrote. Khalaqa is another verb, and it's a combination of three root letters, kha, the lam, and the qaf. It makes khalaqa. So khalaqa is the root word. Khalaqa is the root word, which means he created. That's where you get khaliq from. That's where you get makhluk from. It all comes from this root word, which is a verb itself. And then an example, the third example of a root word is ja'ala. Jim, ain, lam, ja'ala. Ja'ala means he made. That's where you get ja'ilun from, yaj'alun, like this. You get different words coming from this root word, which is ja'ala. Okay? So again, most of the words in the Arabic language come from root words. Most of the root words contain three letters, and these are just some examples. And the root words are themselves verbs, and it's third person male verb. That's what these mean. He wrote, he created, he talked, he laughed, he cried. These are all root words. Are we happy so far with the example? Good question. Where is the gender coming from? So the gender of the root word, just a rule, the gender of the root word is masculine third person. So the gender is inside. Whenever you see a root word, it always means he did that verb. He cried, he talked, he played. So the gender is built inside the root word. It's masculine and it's third person. Are root words always in the past? Yes, root words are always in the past, third person, he did. Okay, why is it? So all this is contained, all that meaning is contained in the three-lettered root word. We'll come on to that, yeah? Right. Yes, root words are all masculine and third person. Right. I'm smiling. That's we got some funny faces on there. Right. Next one. How would you change it to feminine? Yes, we're going to do that. That's your new table, inshallah. Okay, that's your new table. But just before we do that, I want to move on to the next one. So just to explain the root word, I gave an example in English. So in English, we have root words too. Added suffixes or prefixes change the meaning. So for example, in English, the word play is a root word. It is a root word. Now you can add prefixes, meaning some letters before it, or you can add suffixes, some letters after it, to make new meanings, to make new words, like player. So you get the root word, you add er, it makes it the one who is doing that verb. So play is the verb, and is the one who is doing that. So you could have crier, doesn't make sense, but player, talker, these aren't proper words. Let me think of some proper words. Yeah, talker maybe, doer, dancer, thank you very much. Yep. Writer, that's right. You're getting it, yeah. Jumper, yeah, jumper, yeah. Lawyer, waker. Okay, you've got it right. So er is the formula to make it the one who does that verb, right? Now Arabic is similar to that. Let's look at the next slide. Waker. Played. Now it has a different meaning. So, you know, played. Now that thing has been done. That verb has been done. What other examples do we have? Played, delayed. Yes, I'm going to come on to that. How do we do that in Arabic? Killed. Yep, killed. Right. Liked. Exactly. Spoiled. Exactly, right? So Arabic is similar. Look, playing, talking, laughing. There's an easy one, right? Skipping, praying, spoiling, right? I'm using your words, right? So different, you know, there's different templates even in English. Now let's look at a prefix. Lamborghini, right? Okay. Replay. Yeah. Now it changes the meaning. Rewind, redeploy, yeah. Then you got downplay, and you know, again, so you've got words that are, or letters that are added to the end or to the beginning of a root word in English, and it changes the meaning. Outplay, right? So now back to Arabic. I hope you understood what's going on there, right? Some letters coming before or some letters coming afterwards, they change the meaning of the word. We're going to learn those templates for Arabic, inshallah. Right. So khalaqa. Khalaqa means he created. The he is in the actual root word. Right. The root word consists of 3 letters, and the majority, in fact, about 90 to 95% of all words in Arabic come from a 3-lettered root word. Yes, you get 4-lettered root words and 5 other ones, you get more as well. But we're not going to talk about them because they're complicated and they only make up about 5 to 10% of Arabic words. So we're doing the biggest bang for the book. We're doing the 95% of all words in Arabic. They come from 3-lettered root words. So khalaqa is an example. He created. So from khalaqa, this is just example here, just showing you. From khalaqa, if you stick a ya in front of it, it makes it yakhluqu, means he creates. Still has a create, still, because it's got khalaqa inside it, it still has the meaning, it still carries the meaning to create. But yakhluqu means he creates. Khaliqun is the creator. I'm not expecting you to learn this, just showing you how the letters can be added to change the meaning and make new words. So khaliqun is creator, khalaqu, they all created. Right, so you can see the different additions that are happening. Why is the root word and the first word the same? Why is the root word and the first word the same? I don't understand that one. So this is the root word here. Okay, he's reading it wrong. Okay, done. All right, so these are just, don't have to learn this yet. We will go through this, inshallah. We will learn them all, these templates, in the course, inshallah, but one at a time. Yes, adding a ya, you see, adding a ya to the beginning, change it into, makes it into present tense. We will do that, inshallah, later. Right. And another thing I want you to know is look at these root words. Kataba, he wrote. Sami'a means to hear, so it means he heard. Sami Allahu liman hamida, Allah hears, right? Kathura means he increased. So we have kathir, which means a lot, remember? Yeah? It comes from kathura. Yes. So somebody's asking, is the root word always past tense? The root word is always past tense, and it's always he did. It's past tense, third person, male. Right? So the point of this slide is to show you the pattern that root words have. The first letter is always a fatha, a zabar. The last letter is always a fatha, a zabar as well. The middle letter changes. Mostly root words have the middle letter with a fatha also. Lesser than that, you have some root words that the middle letter is a kasra. And the least case is where the middle letter has a dhamma. This is just information. Once you know what it is, you just have to learn it. For that verb, you just have to learn. If I take these vowels off, you would know the first one, you would know the second one, they're both fatha. The middle one, you'd have to learn it. You'd have to know for kataba, it's kataba. For this one, it's sami'a. For this one, it's kathura. Okay, so there's no formula that I know of that you can use to determine the vowel, the haraka on the middle letter. But mostly they're all fathas. Then second, it's a kasra in the middle one. And the least cases is where the middle one has a dhamma. Yeah, the first and last letters have a fatha. Okay, so just information for you. These again, you don't have to learn these. You don't have to remember these. I just put it there because it was in the book. These are the common letters that I used and are added to root words to make new words. We will do patterns, it'll become clearer. Just showing you this for anybody who wants to see it. You don't have to worry about this one. This is the table you got to worry about. This is the table you've got to learn for this week. All these will be in the test, I think, right? Right, okay, so let's look at this. Look where kataba goes. Kataba, the root word, goes in this box here. Kataba, he wrote. And the patterns are quite similar to the previous tables that you've done, as we'll see, inshallah. Look, kataba. So kataba, you put the, do you remember the dual we did in the masculine? Muslimani. So the R is still coming here, but there's no noon. There's no noon, okay? Kataba, kataba means they both wrote. Are these my creations? Are they in the book? They're in the book. They're in the book like this. Yes, the root word is always masculine. The root word always goes in this box here. So it always goes in the masculine, third person, singular, past. This is the past tense table, right? We've got past tense table. How, do you change the root word to make all the past tense combinations? So kataba, he wrote. Kataba, them two wrote. Katabu, they all wrote. And if you look at, remember Muslimuna, una, remember? Right, so there's a bit of that still there, but it's katabu, there's no noon, and you don't pronounce that alif. Why is the third person's dual not the same? Yeah, they're not the same in this one. There's one's feminine. Right, but look at the numbers, 1,000, 300, 200, right? These come, I put this as the second most important table in Arabic because a lot of the Quran talks about the past. So this things happen, the story of the prophets, past, did, So, and for me, I remember this table, I find it easier just going kataba, kataba, katabu, katabat, katabata, katabna, katabta, katabtuma, katabtum, كتبتي كتبتما كتبتن كتبت كتبنا كتبنا. It's going to be hard right now because I'm giving you the whole whack. If you're struggling, drop the duals, as I said. Drop the duals. If you're struggling even more, drop all the feminines as well. But what remains is essential, right? And if you keep on reading it like this, inshallah, you'll learn it. Right, so let's look at this next one. Katabat. When the ta appears with sukoon on, it's third person. She wrote. Katabatta, them two wrote. Katabna. So the noon of the woman has come back, but there's no W on this one, okay? But katabna is, what do you call it? They wrote. Now, once you learn these templates in red, you could then say, this one here, katabu, you would now know what kafaru means. What does kafaru mean? Katabu means they all wrote. Kafara means to disbelieve. So kafaru means they all disbelieved. Khalaqu, they all created. Raja'u, they all returned. Sami'u, they all heard. So it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Once you learn the endings, you can put many three-lettered root letters in front of it, and you're going to know the meaning, because you know the waw at the end and the alif makes it they all did that thing. So qatala means to kill. How am I going to say they all killed? How am I going to say they all killed? Yep, qatalu. Amana means to believe. How am I going to say they all believed? Amanu, exactly. Right, so once you learn the root words, which is going to be today's vocabulary, inshallah, then you're going to be able to translate words that you've never seen, because you know the root word meaning and you know the ending, what it does. Add them together, you'll translate it even though you've never seen that word before, right? That's why this one, template's very important. There's one more table like this in the whole course, base table. After that, any table you see is just manipulation of, you know, these four tables that we're doing, right? This is table, the third table we're doing in this course at the moment. There's going to be another one in a few weeks' time, inshallah, right? So look at this one now, second person. Katabta, katabtuma, katabtum. These are all starting off with ta. Let me just see if I can, yes. So just look at this one here. Remember this table we did, separate pronouns, anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna. Remember that? Now look at the endings. Anta, katabta. Antuma, katabtuma. Antum, katabtum. Anti, katabti. The endings are the same. Antuma, katabtuma. Antunna, katabtunna. So what we learn is the second person endings are the same as the endings of the separate pronouns. Exactly the same. Anta is now katabta. So katabta means you wrote. Katabtuma, you two wrote. And katabtum, you all wrote. Antum katabtum. You might want to learn it like that. Anta katabta. Antuma katabtuma. Antum katabtum. Anti katabti. Anti katabtuma. Antunna katabtunna. So it's the same. That separate pronoun table is going to come and, you know, be helpful here, inshallah. And lastly, whenever you put a ta with a dhamma, whenever you attach that to the root word, it makes it I did that thing. So I wrote. Khalaqtu, I created. Raja'tu, I returned. Qataltu, I killed. Sami'tu, I heard. Yeah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَمَا خَلَقْتُ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and I did not create. وَمَا means not. So I created not. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ. خَلَقْتُ means I created. وَمَا means and not. So, and I did not create. Jinn, you know the verse, yeah? وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونِ. Right? So katabtu, I wrote. And the na is for we. Katabna, katabna. Right? So this is the table we have to learn for next week. You're struggling, what do you do? What do you do if you're struggling? What is the first thing you drop? Drop the dual. Just delete the dual column. Just ignore it. Okay? Because the duals do not come in the Quran a lot. Then feminine. If you're struggling even more, then feminine. And that's pretty much what the cutout course will be, inshallah. Drop the sisters. Right? So drop the feminine, right? But definitely a dual. Yeah, if you can't do it, then drop the dual. Right? So obviously I don't expect you to learn that. That's your homework. Right? This is the same thing in pink and blue. These two are pink and blue because they're masculine and feminine. It's the same table, just showing you in a different way for you to remember. The sister, you know, she gave this idea, so I took it off her with her permission. She might be listening as well. This slide just shows you, again, the second person endings. Look, antum katabtum, antunna katabtunna, it's the same. Antuma katabtuma, anta katabta, anti katabti. So it's the same. So that's why I put this slide in here. Yeah, okay, this one really. There, you can see the highlighted one there. You can see the highlighted box. The endings are the same. Okay, and them two are the same. Got it in black for you all. If you want it in black, you want to see it in black, it's all in black. And then this is a new one. This is not in your book, sadly. It's not in your book. I just did this like 2 nights ago. Again, from the sister, the same sister, she gave this idea. So again, you might like it like this, where the first person is katabtu, male and female, and katabna is dual and plural. For second person is katabta for a male, katabti for a female, katabtuma, you know, you can see it, katabtum, katabtunna. And then for third person, it's kataba, katabat, katabata, katabu, katabna. So, you know, if you like it in this example, it's the same thing, just showing it in a different way, whichever way you like it. And this sadly isn't in your notes. So you're going to have to, yeah, there might be mistakes. Is there a mistake for dual in that? Which one? Yeah, I just put it together last night and I've not really even proof checked it. Let me see. Is there a mistake for dual in that? Katabtuma. Yes, there is. You're right. Jazakallah khair. There is a mistake. Yeah. So this one here is for feminine only. So Jazakallah khair. Are you Arab? Is that you're Arab who just wrote that? No, subhanallah, even better. So she's not an Arab and she discovered that this one is a mistake. This one is supposed to be only feminine. So I'm going to have to change the graphic, inshallah. Katabata is feminine, them two wrote, and the masculine is kataba. Yeah, good. So mistake on this one, okay? Inshallah, I'll correct it and then send this a picture of this, inshallah, on the group. And this way is just showing the additions. If you like it like that, it's there as well. Right. Test time. We've got about, do you want a break now or do you want a break in 10 minutes? Should we do the break now and then we can start applying? Yeah. Okay. No. Okay, so 50-50. So let's give it 5 more minutes, right? 5 more minutes. We'll just do 5 more minutes, yeah? 8:30. I'll just do 5 more minutes. Right. So please, if you just get your notes open on the table. So the table on page 47 or the table on page 46, whichever one looks nice to you. It's the same table. There's different colors and different things happening. So we're going to use that table to look at the endings and translate what is written. So I'm telling you that ja'alna comes from the root letters, the root word ja'ala. Ja'ala means to make. In a sentence, you're going to translate it as he made. So he made. So what does ja'alna mean? When we add, good. When we add the ending na, what does that do? We, okay, not we make, it's past tense. Past tense. We're only doing past tense at the moment, right? We made, exactly. We made. So ja'ala means to make. He made, by itself, it means he made. But when you stick a na at the end, it means we made. We made, okay? And everybody see how we get we made from the table? So it's the table on page 47. No, is it page 47? Sorry, it's not page 47. It is page 69. Page 69, they're telling me. 67. Yeah, page 67. Page 67. Let's just see what's happening on page 69. No, it's not page 69. Yeah, page 67 or page 68. It's the same table. Right. So yeah, keep that one open. Right. So ja'ala, to make. In a sentence, if you saw ja'ala in a sentence, it means he made. It's just the verb to make, right? But it actually means he made. And when you stick a na on the end, it changes to we made, right? From the table, you see the noon at the end, katabna, it makes it into we did that verb, right? Do you take off the fatha from la? Yes. So you take off the fatha from the third root letter and you put a fatha there instead. So it's going to be ja'alna, katabna, kafarna, wajadna, right? They're all like that. And the good thing is it's already, the jazm sukoon is already there in the Quran. So again, the same root letter, but ja'alu. So look at where the waw and alif is appearing. Ja'alu. Though you don't pronounce this alif, it's just there. But you just say ja'alu, and it's plural, like muslimuna. Remember? The waw comes there, doesn't it? So it's similar, but there's no noon at the end. So ja'alu means they all made. They all made. Excellent. Okay, so wajada means he found. So wajadtu. What happens when you stick a tu? Look in your table. When a tu comes, it makes it I did that verb. So I found. Yeah. Raja'tu, I returned. Sami'tu, I heard. Yeah. Qataltu, I killed. Right. So wajadtu means I found. Is everybody clear with that one? Yeah. Yeah. So the tu at the end makes it I did that verb. So whenever you see a three-lettered verb and it has a tu at the end, it means I did that verb. So tu is the formula to make it into my for a past tense verb. Good. Next one. Wajadtum. Wajadtum. What is wajadtum? Yep, look at the tum in there. Katabtum. You all did that verb. So wajadtum, you all found. You have to know what wajada means, and then you have to know what the tum ending does, and then you can translate the word. So Kafara means to disbelieve. Kafartum means you all disbelieved. So in this case, good question. So somebody's asking, in this case, what does the waw mean? So the waw in this word doesn't mean and. The waw is part of the root word. So some root words will begin with waw, and you have to then know that that root word, oh, it's actually part of the root word. So it doesn't mean and you all found. Wajada means you found, he found. Wajada means he found. So in this case, the waw doesn't mean and, it's actually part of the root word. It's part of the actual word. You can see here, wajada means to find, he found. So if you want to say, and he found, it would be wa wajada. Wa wajada. Yeah. So let's just 1 second. Okay. Right. I think we've come to that point. So we'll have a 10-minute break. Inshallah, I'll see you back at about in 10 minutes. So 8:35 UK time. Inshallah. Right. Assalamu alaikum. I'll still be here, but anybody needs to go for a break, please do so. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. So hope everybody is back, and we're going to continue inshallah where we left off. Just one thing I wanted to mention that came up in the break. The third letter, when you add endings on, then the third letter for this one, it will have a sukoon on it. It'll get a jazm. So the wajada will change to wajadtum, right? And that's the case for all the second person ones and some of the third person ones as well. And all the, so this is the case, that third letter gets sukoon for all the first person and second person ones. It's all in the table. Kataba, sorry, katabta, katabtuma, katabtum, right? So you just have to learn the table. Sometimes there's a sukoon there, sometimes there isn't. Right. Let's continue. So look at your table on page, what was it now? 67, and try to do the following. So now this one is a bit different. This is a bit of a tricky one now, okay? Wajada and ka at the end. Now you won't see a ka on any of the endings for today's table. That shows you that that ka is coming from somewhere else. So this word is two words. Wajada means he found, and that's all. The verb ends there. There's no wajadtum, wajadtuma, wajada, wajadtu. There's not. It's just wajada. So wajada means he found, and then the ka is last week's table. Ka is kitabuka, is your book. Beituka, your house. So wajada means he found, and ka is you. So he found you. Yeah. Did that sink in? So wajada is the root word. It means he found. There's no ka ending in this table that we're doing, right? So that shows you that wajada is the verb and ka is your attached pronoun. Wajada, he found, and then ka is you. Wajadaka, he found you. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's something, a bit extra information going on there. Like wajada means he found, and the ka doesn't come in this table, so there's not we found or they found. It's just wajada, he found, and ka is an attached pronoun, which means you. So and so it means he found you, masculine. To a sister, you would say wajada ki, he found you, he found sister. Yeah, that's right. That's good. Right? Wajadakum, he found you all. So why did I put that here? Because maybe because I'm going to mention it later on that it comes in the Quran. Wa wajadaka. Yeah, wa wajadaka, and he found you. Anyway, let's do the next one. Wajadu. So look at that ending in the table. Yes, wajadu means they all found. Yes, subhanAllah, somebody just wrote, what did you write? 4 letters in Arabic, and look, he found you. That's 3 words, right? Is it that one you're saying? But you're going to find that, you're going to find in Arabic, the small word can have, when you translate that into English, you need many words in English to translate that one word into, that one word in Arabic. You might need about 3 or 4 words in English to translate it. So anyway, let's go back. Wajadu, yes, you're right. They all found. Kafaru, ja'alu, qatalu. The u ending makes it plural. They all did that verb. Again, kafara means to disbelieve. So kafaru literally means, yes, they all disbelieved. Not they all disbelieve. This is only past tense right now. We're only doing past tense. They all disbelieved. Why is a root word to find isn't the default he found? Why is the root word to find isn't the default he found? Yes, so really, okay, so yes. So basically, I've written here to disbelieve because that's what the verb is. Khalaqa means to create, wajada to find. But really in the sentence, it's not to find, it's he found. So really, kafara, if you saw kafara in a sentence, it's the verb that means to disbelieve. But kafara literally means he disbelieved. Yep, he disbelieved. Root words is always he did that verb. But we just say this is the verb to listen. Sami'a means to listen, but really in the sentence, Sami'a means he heard. Yeah. So kafara literally means he disbelieved, but it's just kafara, the verb means to disbelieve. You said that. So kafaru means they all disbelieved, correct? Sami'a means to hear. So in a sentence, Sami'a would mean he heard, right? So what sami'tu mean? Good. The tu at the end makes it into I did that verb. So I heard. Good. Again, this is just repeating it because it starts sitting in when you repeat things. Sami'na wa ata'na. What sami'na mean? Sami'a means to hear. So in a sentence, sami'a would mean he heard. But now we're saying sami'na. So we heard, right? Sami'na, we heard. Exactly. So you're learning these endings. Once you learn these ending templates, and once you start learning some root words, you will be able to translate words that you've never seen before because you know what the root word means and you know what the ending does to it. So you'll translate the word. So these are you're learning the formulas to be able to translate words in the Quran. Yeah. So whenever I miss out a vowel on the letter, there's a sukoon on it. So sami'na, it will be. I should maybe put a sukoon in. But there's different types of sukoon. I think the circle one, the circle one in the Uthmani script, isn't it? But I haven't put any sukoons in. Whenever you see a letter that's blank, it's got a sukoon on it. So sami'na, we heard. Qataltu. Qataltu. So qatala means to kill. I killed. Exactly, I killed. Right? So qataltu, I did that thing. So I killed. Good. Qatalna, qatalna. We killed. And the reason why I use kill is because of the verse that I'll show you afterwards. That's why I sort of use this in an example as well, right? Qatalna, we killed, right? Qatalta, qatalta. What is qatalta? Not he. He killed. Ah, good. You killed. You killed who? Like, I mean, like, is it are you send it to a masculine or you send it to feminine? Masculine. So you killed. You're talking to a male. Good. And this comes in the Quran. Look. Qatalta. So when you start off a question in Arabic, you can either start it off with like this one here, or you can start it off with hal, ha and a lam, hal, like hal ataka hadithul ghashiya, for example, hal, right? And sometimes you just, the way you say it, qatalta, did you kill? Right? So sometimes it's the rhythm, the way you say it, you're asking it, you're raising it like qatalta, that means did you kill? Right? Sometimes it's going to have a in front of it, and sometimes a sentence will have a hal in front of it, and these are the ways you can tell that the question is being asked. So here, this is in the Quran, aqatalta, did you kill? Nafsan, person, zakiyatan, innocent. So it's translated here, have you killed? Did you kill? Aqatalta, right? You can tell from that sentence that a male is being asked, because aqatalta, a male is being asked, did you kill an innocent person? Happy so far? I mean, I know you have to learn the table, but yeah, okay. Someone is asking, is the innocent person a female? Not necessarily, because nafsan is a feminine word. Nafsan is historically feminine word as far as I remember. So that's why the feminine terminology is going on there. So you have is maybe the way it's been translated, but aqatalta, did you kill? Did you kill? It's maybe translated like that as have you killed. Some translations might have did you kill. It's just the way the translation is being done as far as I know. Have you killed? But qatalta means did you kill, literally, just outside of the Quran. I think it's Surah 18. Right, these two slides, don't worry too much about them. All this slide is saying here is Ja'a means to come. إِذَا جَاءَ نَصْرُ اللَّهِ وَالْفَتْحُ. Ja'a means to come. When you're talking about something male, it's going to be the masculine way. You're not going to use the feminine way to say to come. So Ja'a means he came. Rajulun, a man. So a man came. Ja'a, it came. Al-haqqu, the truth. So because the truth is masculine, you're going to use the ja'a, the masculine way of saying the verb. Just, I just put this slide there because it's in the book. You don't have to worry about it because it's already written in the Quran. So for feminine, sayyaratun is feminine because of the ta marbuta. So you're going to say it came, but you're going to say it the feminine way. Ja'at, third person, feminine, singular. Ja'at, it came, a caravan came. Sayyara means caravan, but it also in modern times it's the same word used for car. So sayyaratun is a car. So next one, a girl bintun. So you're not going to say ja'a, because ja'a means he came. You're going to say ja'at, she came, bintun. Basically, you're going to match the way you said the verb with what is being talked about, masculine or feminine. Again, don't worry too much about that. As long as you know what ja'at means and sayyaratun means, yeah, ja'at bintun, as long as you know what the words mean. So we don't worry too much about that. Right now, we've only got how many left? 40 minutes left. Now, inshallah, I'm going to explain why you learnt marfu, mansub, and majroor. And this rule you have to know, because if you don't know this rule, you will not be able to translate this and many verses in the Quran. Before I learned this rule, I was struggling that why, how, I don't understand. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught me the rule, and after that, I knew it. So that's what I want to do next now, concentrate on these sentences. I'm going to give you one grammar rule that you need to learn like the back of your hand. You need to learn it, because without that, you can't even translate sentences. You can't translate verses without this one grammar rule. The other grammar rules are all written and they don't affect the literal meaning, but this one affects the literal meaning, right? So let's look at this. So please don't look at your booklets, because your answer might be in the booklets, right? What does waqatala mean? Tell me what waqatala means in this sentence. The waw means and, because qatala is a root word. And killed, but no more information, right? Good, right? And he killed, right? Are we happy with that? Qatala means he killed. Waqatala means and he killed, right? We're happy with that. That's the root word. It's in the top right of the table. Qatala, root word. He did that thing. In this case, qatala means he killed. So waqatala means and he killed. Look at the next two words. Dawudu Jaluta. Right, so who killed? Waqatala means and he killed. How do you know Dawood killed? Because you know the story, right? How do you know Jalut didn't do the... Okay. Right, it comes first, it doesn't make a difference. If, right, so the person is saying they know Dawood killed because it comes first. No, it can be the other way around. Right? Ah, you guys are coming out now with it. You guys are all Arabs, right? Tell me you're all Arabs. Oh, good. Oh, good. You're guessing, yeah, but that's right. Yeah, you pretty much got it. Right? Just see what the next bit is. Yeah, so it means and Dawood killed. So what's going on? What's going on? This is the first part of the rule. The doer of the word is always marfu. The doer is always marfu. I want you to say this 20 times to yourself after the class. The doer is always marfu. The doer is always marfu. This is the grammar rule. You will not be able to translate if you don't know this rule and you don't know what marfu is. That's why in lesson 3, I think it was, we went through marfu, mansub, majroor, because a verbal, there's two types of sentences in Arabic, okay? One is a nominal sentence where the first word is a noun. So it's a noun starting sentence, right? Nominal sentence, a sentence that begins with a noun. And then the other type of sentence is a verbal sentence where the sentence begins with a verb. Now, in verbal sentences, in order to be able to find out who is doing the verb, you have to look for the marfu noun that comes after it. So here we see Dawudu is marfu. So the doer of the noun is always marfu. So this one is doing the noun. Do you understand? This one is doing the noun. This one, Jaluta, is mansub. That's not doing the noun. Dawudu is doing the noun because the noun, sorry, Dawudu is doing the verb because the doer of the verb is always marfu. Dawood is marfu, so Dawood is doing the verb. So waqatala, and he killed. Who killed? Dawood killed, right? Dawood killed. Are we happy with that? Is the doer always human? Can it be inanimate? I have to think about that one. Right. So Dawood. So when you see a verb, he did, she did, they all did. You need, in order to be able to tell who did it, you need to be able to see where is the marfu word. Look for it. Oh yeah, that's marfu. So that did the verb, right? How do we know it's he killed and not killed. So how do we know it's he killed? Because qatala means he killed. Qatala is the root word. Yeah. Kafara means he disbelieved. Raja'a, he returned. Sami'a, he heard. Wajada, he found. Qatala, he killed. So the he did, that verb is in this word itself. Waqatala, and he killed. Now we don't know who killed. Did Jalut kill, or did Dawood kill? Did they both kill, or did somebody else kill both? Could be that as well. If somebody outside of the Quran wrote Waqatala Dawuda Jaluta, now the doer is someone else. The doer is someone else. Dawood is not the doer because Dawood is not marfu, right? So Dawood is the doer. So the doer of the verb is always marfu. The doer 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 is always marfu. Say it. The doer is always marfu. 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 I've got a story about that, but I haven't got time to tell it today, right? Why I'm making you repeat it, I've got a story, but it's all right, right? So the doer is always marfu, okay? And there's another part to it. The thing that the verb is done to is mansub. That's it. That's the rule. The doer is always marfu, and the thing that the verb is done to is mansub, right? If you don't get the last bit, remember the doer is always marfu, and anything that is not marfu is not the doer, right? So the doer is always marfu. The thing that the verb is being done to is mansub. So let's see. So here we go. And this is why I use qatala in my examples, because I love this verse. This is the verse that I use to explain the grammar rule, right? So look, wa qatala, right? So again, remember the doer is marfu. Wa qatala means and he killed. Who killed? Can we find out in the sentence? Who killed? Yes, Dawood killed. Why? Because the doer of the verb is always marfu. So Dawood did the killing, right? The thing that the verb is done to is mansub. Hey, look, this is mansub. So that means the killing has been done to Jalut. It's been done on Jalut, right? Dawood did the killing, and the killing was done on Jalut. So Jalut was the one that was killed. The doer of the verb is always marfu, and the thing that the verb has been done to is mansub. You get it? Is there a rule for majroor? Yes, but we're not going to do that. Not in the verbal. In the verbal, it's just marfu and mansub. The rule for majroor was you got majroorifying words that make the next word majroor, right? Right. So yeah. So you need this grammar rule in verbal sentences because you need to know who the verb is being done to and who is doing the verb. Right. So that's why I took you through that on lesson 3, marfu, mansub, majroor, just for this, because without that rule, you had no concept of marfu, mansub, majroor. You would look at that verse and you won't know who's doing what. You wouldn't know. So yes, so this is the object of the verb. This is the subject of the verb. If you understand that, then it's good for you. I don't understand that. I mean, it took me a long time to get my mind around that. I just do doer and the thing that the verb is done to. So the doer in Arabic is called fa'il. Fa'il means doer. So this one is the doer because it is marfu. This one is the object of the verb. This is the one, or the thing, in this case the one, that the verb is being done to. So Jalut is mansub. Yeah, Jalut is mansub. If it said وَقَتَلَ دَاوُودُ جَالُوتُ, if they were both marfu, then what would it have meant? If it said وَقَتَلَ دَاوُودُ جَالُوتُ, if they were both marfu, exactly. If they were both marfu, it would have meant that killed, who killed? Dawood killed and Jalut killed. And it might not say qatala, it might say something else, or it might say qatala, I'm not sure. But Both being marfu here means they both did the killing. What happens if it was waqatala Dawuda Jaluta? If they were both mansub, then what would the sentence have meant? If it was waqatala Dawuda Jaluta, exactly, then it would have meant waqatala, and he killed who? We don't know. There's no marfu. There's no marfu word. We don't know. It was just somebody killed Dawood and Jalut, right? So that's the golden rule of grammar, in my opinion. That's the one rule you need to know. You know, if you don't know harf jar, if you don't know mudaf, mudaf ilayh, you don't know other ones, you know, but this is the one you cannot translate literal sentences without knowing this rule, right? So this is, in English grammar, you would say this one is the subject of the verb. So the subject of the verb is marfu. The object of the verb is mansub. But subject and object for me doesn't go, I can't get my head around it, but people who have done English grammar, they might like that technique, right? I just say the doer is marfu and the thing the verb is done to is mansub, right? Again, you're going to have to maybe listen to this again, look at look at your notes, but I'm just going to give you some examples, inshallah. Right, okay, look at this example. The boy sat on the chair, right? So where's the verb? What's the verb here? The verb is sat, okay? So who did the sitting? The boy. So the boy is going to be marfu, right? This is again a pseudo English Arabic example, right? To make you see, where would be the mansub? Where is the object of the verb? What, you know, the happening of the verb is happening on what? The chair. So the chair would be mansub. So the boy is doing the verb and the chair is a thing that the verb is being done on. So that'll be mansub. The dog jumped over the fence. So who's doing the jumping? Who's the doer? Who's the marfu here? The dog, because the dog is doing the verb. I hope you're not looking at your notes, right, guys? And where is the mansub? What is the verb being done to? So the dog jumped over the fence. So fence is mansub here. The man wrote on the paper. So wrote is the verb. Who is doing the verb? The doer is always marfu. The man is doing the writing, so the man is marfu. And what's being written on? The paper. So the verb is being done. So the doer is always marfu. The thing that the verb is done to or done on is mansub. So paper would be mansub in this case. I hope it's beginning to sit in. The man happily wrote on the paper. I'm getting a bit carried away here now, getting a bit sort of exploring a few more bigger sentences. So where's the verb? Happily? Wrote. It's wrote. Okay. So the doer is always marfu. So where's the marfu going to be here? Who's doing the verb? The man. So the man is marfu because the doer of the verb is always marfu, and the thing that the verb is being done to is mansub. So what's the writing being done on or done to? Done on the paper. I was getting a bit carried away here maybe. The man looked with envy towards the rich king. So where is the verb? Are you sure? Yes. Looked. Looked is the verb. So who's doing the looking? The man. So the doer of the verb is always marfu. So who's going to be marfu here? The rich king? No, who? Okay. No, who's doing the looking? Who's doing the looking? Who's doing the verb? The man, right? So the man is marfu. And the looking is being done to or done on? Yeah, done to the king. So the king is the one who is the, you know, so the man is the subject of the verb and the rich king is the object of the verb, right? The rich king. And in Arabic, you would say, so in Arabic, the doer is the fa'il, and the maf'ul bihi is the object, right? You say maf'ul bihi to the object. Why these are not in? I don't understand that. Yeah, so the king would be mansub. Okay, so we got this example now. I think this is in the Quran. So your turn now. Khalaqa, without looking at your book, khalaqa means he created. Okay, he created. You just have to learn that khalaqa means he created. So he created right now. Who created? You look for, can you see a marfu word next? You know, it doesn't mean the marfu word comes straight after the verb. The marfu word could come a few words after the verb, right? But in this case, it's right after the verb. So he created. Who created? Look for the marfu. Allahu. Allah is marfu. So Allah did the verb. Allah did the creating. So Allah created, right? Allah created. Did the earth create as well? Did the earth create? No. Why? Because the earth isn't marfu. So the earth, if somebody read astaghfirullah, read ardu, then they'd be saying Allah and the earth created, right? That's how important grammar is. That's how important it is to make sure you get your endings correct. But obviously when we read the Quran, we try reading the Quran to the best of our abilities. Nobody reads the Quran wrong on purpose. So you can, take it easy. Just make sure you obviously read it as best as you can. And we all make mistakes, but we don't mean to make those mistakes. So khalaqallahu, Allah created. Allah is marfu, so the doer is always marfu. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did the verb, and it was done on the earth. Basically, the earth was the one that the creating was happening to, because al-arb is mansub. So the doer is always marfu, and the thing the verb is done to is mansub. So Allah created. What did he create? The earth, because the earth is mansub. Here we go. Fa'il means the doer of the verb, and in English grammar you say the subject of the verb, and maf'ul bihi is the terminology to explain the thing that the verb is done to, the object of the verb. Right, so fa'il and maf'ul, it's good if you learn these because they're going to come up later, inshallah. Are we happy with that? Now you know why you had to learn marfu, mansub, majroor. And that's pretty much all I did it for. That's all. Because without that, you will not be able to understand. You won't be able to understand who's doing the verb. And it's verbal sentences will have that. Yeah. How do you pronounce earth in Arabic? Al-arda. So khalaqallahu al-arda. So why is there a who after Allah? Because Allah is the one who did the verb. Yeah. Allahu, that means is marfu. You can have Allah, Allahi, Allahu. Not Allahu, that people do Allahu. Who, I don't know what Allahu means, because who, making it two counts with a little wow there, Allahu, I don't know if that is even a word, right? But Allahu, like Allahu la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum. Allahu, that just means Allah, and it's marfu. Al-arda is mansub. So would you pronounce the alif? You just say khalaqallahu al-arda. You wouldn't pronounce the alif there. Hamzatul wasl is. Right? In the Indo-Pak, it won't have a jazm there, so you know not to read it. And in the Uthmani script, it has a little swad, like a squiggly swad, which means you don't read it. If you join it, you don't read it. So maf'ul bihi just means the object of the verb, and the maf'ul bihi is mansub, right? The two different things. Maf'ul bihi just means the object of the verb. Maf'ul bihi basically just means the thing that the verb is being done to, and the maf'ul bihi, the thing that the verb is done to, is always mansub. Yeah. So just remember, the doer is always marfu, and the thing that the verb is done to, in brackets, maf'ul bihi, the thing that the verb is done to is always mansub. Okay. 20 minutes left. Right. He's getting a bit funny. Right. Okay. Oh, look at this one. Sorry, I just switched. Look at this one now. Khalaqa. Okay. Khalaqa means, what does khalaqa mean? Khalaqa, he created. He created. And look, who created? Have a look. Oh, we don't see any word that is marfu. So the one who created is not mentioned by name here. So we just know he created. In this case, we know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created. But if it was like, outside of the Quran, if it was some other verb, you wouldn't know who did it. You just know he did it. Like if I say, Sami'a, Sayyara, for example, right? He heard a car. Yeah. Sami'a, if I say Sami'a Sayyarata, for example, or Sami'a Sayyarata, right? There's no marfu. So I know Sami'a, he heard. Who heard? I don't know, because it's not mentioned. But I know he heard the car because the car is mansub. Right? So over here, khalaqa, we know it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but it's not mentioned here. We just know he created. But the one who did it is not mentioned specifically. So he created. Al-arda is mansub, so we know that the creation was done to the earth. So he created the earth. So only the object is mentioned in this sentence. You can have that as well. The object is mentioned, you don't know, obviously we know it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but if you saw, like a root word, it's he did it, and you might not necessarily know who did it. But al-arda is mansub, so we know the creating was done, on the earth, to the earth. Good. So so it's not every time you're going to have the the doer mentioned. Sometimes the doer is not mentioned, you just know he did it. Maybe the context of the sentence will tell you, you'll know from the context of the sentence who it was, because that person was maybe mentioned before. But in these two words, you don't, the sentence is not telling you the doer, because there's no marfu word coming. So it's all in this one. He created the earth. Right? So this is a verse, part of a verse. Right. Fi means in qulubihim. So qulub is plural, broken plural for heart. So it means hearts. So in hearts, theirs. Yeah. Him means them. Yeah. In their hearts. In hearts, there. In their hearts. Can I have the translation? Is that better? Why is it him and not whom? Anybody can mention that? Why is it him and not whom? Why is it qulubihim and not qulubihum? Because before the ha, there is a letter with a kasra. When there's a letter with a kasra in front of the ha, it becomes he. Just imagine if you said qulubihum, qulubihum. It's hard to say. And tajweed, a lot of the time tajweed is just about what comes automatic and easy on your tongue. Right? So qulubihim, that's why it's him. If it's qulubu, then it would have been hum. If you say fi qulubuhum, you're reading it wrong with the wrong grammar. The reason is because fi is a majrurifying word. It's a preposition, it's a harf jar, and whenever fi comes before a noun, it makes it majrur. That's why it's qulubi and not qulubu, because of this fi. Fi makes the next word majrur. Okay. So qulubihim, in their hearts, maradun. What's maradun? Maradun is, and you even say in Urdu, marz. He's got a marz, yeah, sickness. So in their hearts is a sickness, fazada. What's zada mean? It's a root word. You have to know what it means. Fa means, okay. Fa means saw, right? Many times, fa just means saw. So the thing here is zada. Zada means he increased. In Urdu, we say ziyada. I think it's from the same word there. Ziyada, right, means more. And zada in Arabic means he increased. So fazada, so he increased. Hum. What's hum mean? So he increased them. Look, so he increased, zada, them. So he increased them. Who increased them? Who increased them? So verb, remember, fazada humullahu. Allah increased them. Why did Allah? Why? How? Okay. Yeah, because Allah is marfu, so Allah did the verb. Allah is the doer of the verb because the doer is always marfu. So fazadahumullahu, so he increased them. Oh, Allah is marfu, so Allah is doing the verb. So Allah increased them. So Allah increased them. Yep. Is there any other word that is marfu? No. Maradan. Maradan is sickness. So Allah increased them. And what was the sickness? You know, the sickness, maradan is the sort of this, let's just see how it's translated. Increase their disease. Okay, so what has been increased? Their disease. So this is the fa'il here, the doer, and this is the thing that the verb is done to, as far as I know. I'll have to just check that one again to make sure I got the terminology right there. Walahum, and for them. Remember we did this last week? And for them. Adhabun, a punishment. Alimun, we've done these words. Painful. Bima, and many times bima, obviously the be, you know, prepositions, they have, you know, different, many different translations, and I think the word be has about 17 odd translation, 17 odd different meanings. Okay, but if you just understand, just remember that be means with, right, and ma means what. Bima, with what. Okay, so let's just see. Okay, for them is a painful punishment because, okay, because they used to. If you think in your mind with what, you'll still inshallah get the translation. Bima kanu, they used to do. We've not done kanu yet, but it is past. We've just done it in the table now. It's past tense, plural, like kafaru, zalamu, fasaqu, wajadu, amanu, because they all used to be. Because they all were, they all used to, yakdhibun, they would tell lies. We've not done yakdhibuna yet, yeah? But you can see kadhiba, kadhaba. Can you see that? That's the root word. Kaf, dhal, and ba, which means to lie. We've just not done these patterns because this is present tense table. Right? I will just double check to make sure that is the maf'ul and nothing else is going on there, because just some doubt came to my mind, so I just want to check that inshallah. Bima, so bima, I sort of, outside of the Quran, bima, B means with, and ma means what? With what? Now, if you say, and for them is a painful punishment with what they used to lie, you'll generally get the idea of what it's saying, but it's been translated here as a painful torment is theirs because they used to tell lies, right? So it's a connecting word, and it's been translated here as because. You might see in different translations, you might see different words there, but if you take be to mean with and ma to mean what, with what, because of what, you know, that sort of thing, you'll inshallah still be able to understand it. Right, 10 minutes, we've got 10 minutes left, or if we haven't got time. Nasaral, I'm going to forget on with this. I think Nasara means he helped. He helped. Who did the helping? Who was doing the helping? Now look, which one is marfu? Remember, marfu, muslimun, muslimani, muslimuna, they are all marfu. So the muslimun are doing the helping. And who are they helping? The disbelievers. This kafirina is mansub. Remember, kafiruna is marfu, kafirina is mansub or majroor. And we know it's mansub because it's a verbal sentence. So nasara, that's how you write it. Even though these are plural, you would write this one as a singular. That's how you do it in Arabic. So nasara al-muslimuna. So the muslimun helped the disbelievers, right? So the marfu, this is marfu. Remember, muslimuna is marfu. So three ways of saying Muslim, marfu. Muslimun is marfu, muslimani is marfu, and muslimuna is marfu. Remember? Yeah. So that's why, you know, it's very important to know your marfu ones. Marfu has three endings for sound plurals. Okay. Yeah. So someone's asking, why is it he helped here, but then you go into plural? So in Arabic, when you write plural, you won't write nasaru. You won't write they all helped, the Muslims all helped. You just say nasara. You just use a singular. Even when you're talking about plural, and like sentences like this, you still use the singular. Don't worry about that because it's already, you know, Quran is already written. So you don't have to construct sentences, but just understand that nasara, to help, he helped. Or the Muslimun, the Muslims helped the disbelievers. You don't always use the root, but in these sentences, you're using the root. Now look at this one. Nasara, look what I did. Just did this little change here. Kafirun, kafirin now becomes kafirun, and muslimun now becomes muslimin. So now what does it mean? Now it means the disbelievers, this marfu now. So the disbelievers helped, they're doing the helping this time, they helped the muslimin, right? So now it means the disbelievers helped the muslimin, because the doer is always marfu, and muslimin isn't marfu, kafirun is marfu, from the marfu table in lesson 3. Yeah, running out of time today. I'm going to leave this one because this is dual. This is dual. I'm going to leave that, inshallah. Okay, I'll just quickly do it then. Just one of them. Look at this one. This is dual now. Which one is the dual ending for marfu? In dual land, what is the marfu ending for 2? Ani. Remember Ani? Ani. So Nasara al-Muslimaini al-Kafirani. So Kafirani is the marfu one in dual, remember? So in this one, the Kafirani are doing the helping. The 2 disbelievers are helping the Muslimaini. Muslimaini is dual mansub or majroor, remember? So in this case, it's mansub because it's a verbal sentence. So the Kafirani are doing the helping of the 2 Muslimaini. All right. There's a lot to take in this lesson. There will be easier lessons, inshallah, as well. Right. I think next week will be an easy lesson, inshallah. But you need to learn this table. If you learn this table, next week's lesson should be quite easy. Or easier. Right. I don't know if this one is in your books. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Are you sure? Should I take your name? There's only one more table that is brand new. The rest are all just based on those tables that we've done. So we've done the separate pronoun table. We've done the attached pronoun table. Today we've done the past tense verbs. And in the future, in 2 lessons, I think, inshallah, we will do the present tense verbs. That's it. Them are the 4 main tables. Anything else is just based on them, very heavily based on them, right? So are you, I don't know if this is in the booklet. Is this in the booklet? Are you here? I'm considering giving up. Or are you here? Finding it hard and losing grip. Okay. Or are you here? Finding it hard but keeping on top. Okay, yeah, you're gonna, yeah, if you, yeah, this one is the one where you want to be at least. Finding it hard but keeping on top. If you're losing grip, go back to the recording. Ask me, ask the group. I'm considering giving up. Don't, because this chance may never come again. Try going back to the recordings, try catching up. As I said, the year before last year, or last year, as a doctor in COVID, it was 2 years ago, I think, and she was struggling with it, a doctor, right? So she took 2 weeks out, and she just out of her job 2 weeks, and she just, for the sake of what, doing this Arabic, and she got on top of it. Right? I'm on top of the work. Who's on top of the work? Yeah, I know it's you know, there's people have children, you have lives, you have things, you're working, and you know, you difficult finding the time. So yeah, you know, I can understand it. Okay, is anybody here? Right. Cool. Right. Okay. Yeah. Just do your best, everybody. Yeah. And you can attend this next time I do it, and the next time you can, you know, inshallah. Right. We've got 4 minutes left. You know what? We're not going to have time to do all these, but let me just do this one here. For the test, you're going to need to be able to translate the sentences and be able to identify who's doing the verb as well. So let's just look at this one. Wa dakhala. What does dakhala mean? Dakhala is an Urdu word as well. Dakhil. What does it mean? Okay. In the sentence, it means and dakhala, and he entered, right? And he entered. Without looking at the translation, I know I've put the translation on. Oh, it's gone. Right. Okay. Wa dakhala, and he entered. Right. Who entered? Do we know? Okay, he entered, but do we know the name of the one who entered? No, the sentence doesn't tell us who it was who entered, but it just tells us that somebody entered, right? Why did Medina not enter? Why did Medina not do the entering? Oh, let's see the translations, okay. Because it's mansub. Madinata. It's mansub. So Medina didn't do the entering because it's mansub. The doer of the verb is always marfu. This word is not marfu, it's mansub. So we know Medina didn't do the entering. So he entered. Medina is the object of the verb. Medina is the one that the verb is being done to. So he entered into the city. He entered the city. Yeah. So the city isn't doing the entering, but he entered the city because the city is mansub. If it was وَدَخَلَ الْمَدِينَةُ, if somebody read وَدَخَلَ الْمَدِينَةُ, then what would it mean? It would have meant he entered, the city entered. So it would have meant the city, it entered, right? So the city entered, right? So just changing a haraka in the Quran can have massive difference, especially in verbal sentences, because you change the marfu to mansub, you change the meaning of a verbal sentence. When there's a verb and you change the next word from a marfu to mansub, completely changes the meaning. That's how powerful Arabic is. You can just leave the words there, just change the case, and it'll change the meaning. You don't have to move the words about. You can just change the cases of the words to change the meaning of the sentence. Okay, so you're going to get one like this. Yeah, I'll give you a hint. Sami Allahu and Sami Allaha. That's the hint. Sami Allahu and Sami Allaha. What is the difference? Sami Allahu, Allah heard. Sami Allaha, he heard Allah, right? Listen to that again, right? In the recording or something. I think that's on the test. I think it is. It is. So you need to know the difference between Sami Allahu, Allahu. So Allah did the hearing. But sami Allah means sami'a, he heard Allah. Right? Let's just see if we can do another one. We have 1 minute. I've got a lot of these today. فَخَرَجَ مِنْهَا. Okay. Okay, look at this one. وَذَكَرَ. وَذَكَرَ. ذَكَرَ means to remember. He remembered. Okay, who remembered? Do we know from this sentence the name of the one who remembered? وَذَكَرَ? No. But Allah is mansoob, so what does it mean? He remembered. We don't know who is doing the remembering, but we know Allah is the one being remembered because Allah is mansoob. So, and he remembered, and the remembering is done to Allah. So, and he remembered Allah kathiran. Kathiran means a lot. Right? So the object of the verb, object, isn't it? Yeah? The one that the verb is being done to. Right? The one that the verb is being done to is Allah. So, and he remembered Allah. If it was Allahu, if somebody read Allahu, then it would have meant Allah is the one who remembered. Yeah? Yeah, so there's no marfu here, so we don't know who did it. From the sentence, we don't know who did it. We just know he did it. It was he, and it's in past tense, but we don't know who it was. But we know whoever it was, he remembered Allah. Right? This is very important. The one grammar rule is very, very important, this one. Right, I think we've hit our 9:30 time. We're just going to have to, if you can just look to these and look, this one, Sami'a Allahu. Sami'a means he heard. Who heard? Look for, can we see a marfu? Can we see the doer of the verb? Oh, yes, we can. Allahu. Allah is marfu, so Allah is the one who heard. Yeah, Allah is the one who heard. I'm not going to do, yeah. Somebody's asking. Right, okay. Somebody says, please explain the Musa one. That's a bit complicated, so I'm going to leave that, right? Time being. Right. I'm thinking we're going to have to leave it there. We've gone over the time. Plenty of verses here. Please look through the verses and see if you can make sense of them. Some you won't be able to because there's other rules we haven't done, but a lot, you know, a lot of sentences, inshallah, with this rule you've just done, you'll be able to understand, inshallah. And just as we finish, this is your new words you have to learn. Look at these and look at the numbers. Khalaqa yakhluqu. So khalaqa means he created. It's the verb to create, but literally this means past tense, and this is present tense. It's good to learn the present tense with the past tense because you're going to find out in a few weeks, inshallah. Khalaqa yakhluqu. Khalaqa means he created. Yakhluqu, he creates. 240. Ja'ala, he made. Yaj'alu, he makes. 340. Dakhala, he entered. Yadkhulu, he enters. Kharaja, he left. Yakhruju, he leaves. So far, these are Urdu words as well, majority of them. Alima is to know, he knew. Ya'lamu, he knows. Amila means he did, he worked. Ya'malu, he works. Look at the numbers, root words, because root words make the nouns. Root words make the subject, the objects, the root words, you know, like for example, alim, you get, from alima, you get ya'lamuna, ulama, alim, ta'lam. Yeah, you get a lot of words coming from that. Ulama, those who know. Alim, the one who knows. Alima, the woman who knows. Ma'loom, known. Yeah. Ilman, knowledge. Right. So they all come from the root words. That's why if you learn the root words, them are the main words to learn. Right. Sami'a, he heard. Yasma'u, he hears. Qatala, he killed. Yaqtulu, he kills. Zalama, he oppressed. Yazlimu, he oppresses. Jama'a, he gathered. Yajma'u, he gathers. Fa'ala, he did. Sorry, fa'ala, yeah, he did. Yaf'alu, he does. Kadhiba, he lied. Yakdhibu, he lies. So these are root words, and root words are essential because once you learn the patterns, you can make new words from the root words, right? So, for example, you can put these words in those tables. Khalaqa, khalaqtu, khalaqtuma, khalaqtum, ja'al, ja'ala, ja'ala, ja'alu, ja'alat. You can put all these words you see in here in the table, and you will automatically be able to translate them. So ja'alu, ja'alat, ja'altuma, ja'altum, dakhala, dakhaltu, dakhalna, kharajtu, kharajna, yeah, amila, example. You can do that. So jazakallah khair. I'm sorry I've just gone over 5 minutes. That's the homework to do. If you get stuck, just ask, and I will see you inshallah next week. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.